Welcome to Professional Seduction, the place to find, flirt, and fall in love with your career. Business leaders and industry experts will share tips and advice on how to push your professional life forward. And if you're trying to figure out a career, well, we'll help you with that too. Joining us today is Dawnn Karen. Dawnn is a fashion psychologist. She pioneered this field and has in turn turned it into an internationally respected industry. Dawnn, how in the world did you do this? Because inquiring minds like mine need to know.
It's been quite difficult over the years. It hasn't been easy, but I've done it. I've been on the academic side, I've been on the industry side, and I just meshed it into one, and I'm happy to be at this place in my life, in my career. I think it's really with the digital age that we're in. I was able to just be in the media. And you know, if you get several Google mentions, I mean, people can Google your name, that stands for something. So I think, I mean, maybe this is braggadocious to say, but what I've done like 20 years of work and maybe about 5. Awesome. Thankful, you know, thank God to the internet.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing.
It's been a blessing.
That's amazing. So let's talk about dressing for success.
Yes.
Because back in the day, I think my granny's all in my ear saying you wear a skirt, a blouse, and it all better be a dark
and some
tone.
stockings.
Yes, stockings, exactly, and closed-toe shoes. But we're in a new age. So talk about dressing for success. What should you wear to an interview?
Yeah, so okay, as your fashion psychologist, I will not say you should wear a particular item. What I will say is dress for your mood. So mood illustration dress is one theory. Mood illustration dress is a mood enhancement dress is a second theory. And I'm just basically, I tell clients and students, before you get out of bed, and I'm telling you now, before you get out of bed, before your heels touch the ground, ask yourself, Chanel, how am I feeling today? Do a self check-in, and you can determine, like, okay, I'm feeling kind of groggy, I'm feeling kind of, you know, kind of down, so I want to improve my mood. So I'm going to go to my closet and pick clothes, maybe brighter clothes, maybe a silky blouse to do mood enhancement dress. Okay. And if you were kind of feeling kind of, you know, down before like an interview, I would literally tell you to do mood illustration dress. Go to your closet and maybe pick an all black sweater and maybe some black slacks, which is comfortable, right? That's illustrating your current mood. Okay. So I'm more so styling you from the inside out, not from the outside in, like most dress for success. Ooh, can I say that? Dress for success or the makeover types, which is no shade to them. But with fashion psychology, we're just all about the inside. So about how you feel. Once you start there, then you can create some congruency and, you know, rock it on that interview and do well.
Awesome. It's interesting you mentioned kind of mood matching because I've heard in the past, and we see it written and posted everywhere, black can be chic and sexy and sophisticated, and I'm wearing black now, but my mood is wonderful, as high as it's potentially ever been right now. So can you also maybe dress in a certain color, but it not necessarily reflect your mood?
Yeah, this is definitely, so I can make generalizations, but you know, when talking to different clients, different students, you know, it's all about the individual. So black may mean, you know, sexy and sophisticated to me, but then to you it may mean, you know, I'm dressing down, or this is like I'm in a somber, you know, melancholy mood, you know, so it's just relative to person, especially with color. Like, you know, they say red, you know, if you want to feel sexy, but maybe red doesn't make you feel sexy. Maybe red makes you feel angry.
Or screams loud.
Right, you know, so maybe, you know, so it's all relative to each his own, you know. So I'm just more about, you know, the individual, what feels good to you from the inside out.
Awesome. How can we dress without being too bold at work, but still show off a signature or personal style?
All right, well, there's another theory. Here I go with my theories. Focal accessories. So usually you have some type
Hold
of...
on. Everybody take notes, please,
yes.
because she said mood matching and focal...
Yes, mood illustration, mood enhancement, and focal accessory.
Everybody get that? Okay, go.
So focal accessories. So it's basically an item. You can see I'm wearing a couple of items. So just an accessory that kind of can jazz up your outfit. Okay. That kind of gives a touch of your personality, but not taking away too much from the work culture that you're in, or, you know, it's not too, you know, vibrant. You know, so just a focal accessory, something that, and a focal accessory is something that holds psychological value from the past, present, or the future. So it's something that you wear that maybe if you don't wear it, you kind of feel naked make it without it. It could be something that your grandmother gave you or something that's a current trend, anything, you know. So it could be a wedding ring, like you getting, well, I'm trying to get married, but you know, when you put the wedding ring on and you're hoping that you can, you know, you can usher in that good energy. So it all depends, but it's a focal accessory, just something that pop, that shows a little pizzazz, to add a touch to your outfit.
I love it. I love that. For those of us who maybe aren't the most fashion forward, but want to spice up our style, what do you recommend?
I mean, I have to go back to my mood. Just go back to just how you feel. And I'm literally just want to give you permission and just dressing how you feel. A lot of things are based on trends, what's in and what's not. And we kind of get inundated and like, okay, I can't wear that because I was so last season. No, I mean, if it was 20 years ago, I'll tell you wear it, girl, because you look hot in it and you feel good in it. Like that's what it's all about.
Thank you for that reassurance, because I consider myself more of a conservative, timeless fashionista. Yeah. So I've never really ingratiated trends. Yeah. So it's nice to know that you can still be trendy with something that's like 10 years old. It's all about how you feel. How you feel. Essentially.
That's literally, that's what I'm all about.
Got it. Yeah. How can you add some flair if you just aren't really into clothes, but you see somebody walk down the street and it's like, oh, I really like the way that looks, but maybe I have this, you know, staunch corporate job where I could never do that. Like, especially depending on where you live and what industry you work in. How do you sort of stay on top of that and stay relevant without just feeling like you recycle the same clothes over and over and over?
Well, just you could do like a piecemeal, just by piece, adding new things. I wouldn't say do a whole like wardrobe overhaul. I think that's kind of a shock to the psyche, and I'm not trying to shock you. And you know, like, because usually when you think of like makeovers, people place you into this, you know, outfit, and that is totally not you. And they're like, voila, you're cured, you're it, you're trending, you know. But it's like, probably 3 months later we follow you, you're not going to be in that. So just piece by piece, adding, you know, little trendy things, again, not to shock the system, and just like I said, you know, I'm giving clients, students, everyone permission to, you know, it's not necessarily being on trend and having someone tell you what's in. It's all about how you feel. That's important.
Since you're in the driver's seat regarding pioneering this field, for someone who has this idea or this thing they're really passionate about and they want to see it grow legs and take off and become something in a similar vein that fashion psychology has, what pearls of wisdom or advice would you share for that person looking to do what you've done, but maybe for something different?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I'm still in it. But I can just say, use the internet. The internet is your friend in this age. Also, don't give up. Like, there needs to be a degree of tenacity that you have. And, you know, sowing seeds. I mean, I don't want to get too biblical, but sow these seeds and eventually something's going to sprout. Now, it may not sprout like, you know, a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, but you have to be patient. I mean, I'm noticing seeds that have sprouted that I even forgot that I planted, you know, so it's just having that tenacity. I think even Will Smith talks about this in one of his interviews, like you may be prettier than me, handsome than me, you know, but you're not going to outrun me, you know, so it's about just doing the work. I mean, a conversion rate, if you plant, you know, plant 2 strawberries, you're gonna get, you know, 2 strawberries. Like, so just keep planting those seeds and just don't give up. Like, something has to stick. We throw a million things on the wall. All you need is one to stick. People just want to see things like back to back to back. So if you just keep doing it and you create a wide digital footprint, I mean, the world is your oyster. The internet is your oyster.
Love it. You recently did a TED Talk.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, because I've seen all these people who are abstract to me because I don't really know them doing these TED Talks, and I'm like, oh, that's great, that's nice. But I'm like, oh, my homegirl just did a TED Talk. Like, I know her. Tell me about that experience.
Well, it was quite an experience for me, very cathartic. I actually talked about, so a lot of times in the media, they'll ask, okay, why did you create fashion psychology? And I'll say, oh, I was a model. I went to Columbia. I used to be a nanny. And then I came up with this idea. But the truth was that I experienced sexual assault. So I experienced a sexual assault, and I looked in the mirror, and the next day I said I need to wear my best outfit. And I was either hiding my feelings or what I had gone through, or expressing them through my clothing. And I figured, you know, could there be other people, men and women included, that could do the same thing that I'm doing, wear their clothing to express how they feel. Not everyone says, you know, hey, woe is me, this happened to me. You know, some people wear their feelings on their clothes. So this is what inspired it. And so this is what I was able to reveal at my TED Talk, which, I mean, people, they didn't know, you know, they see the glitz and the glamour and they're like, wow. And I kind of think the glitz and the glamour makes, you know, people kind of look at me as, you know, I'm just a
larger than life.
Yeah, and I'm not really human. I don't have feelings, and I'm, you know, kind of robotic. And so, you know, I'm talking about psychology. What about my own? You know, so I was able to reveal, like what had happened to me. And after the TED Talk, so many of my students and people who are not my students, they were crying, and they were like, "You're me, I'm you." Like, you know, so just to be able to inspire people, like you can go through something traumatic, but then you can triumph and make this beautiful painting. Like, that's what it ultimately, yes, fashion psychology, but I ultimately want to inspire people. So the TED Talk was that. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited that everybody has watched it. So
yes, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I love that you can have a focal accessory, because I'm kind of growing into that. It's like, oh, I'm going to go get myself a wig and name her Raquel, and that'll be my focal accessory, because I'm so conservative when it comes to dress. But I'm like, okay, I can do other things. So there's one more thing you have in the pipeline, and that is a YouTube series that you're filming. Talk to me about that.
Well, after being offered several TV shows, I decided to do my own thing. So it's Fashion Psychology TV. We have 3 kind of formats. Hashtag Fad Mania, which addresses trendy things like the psychology behind wearing a turtleneck or trendy things. So then we have hashtag Pop Flair, which kind of addresses celebrity pop culture. Like Rihanna may say something about, oh yeah, I gotta wear, you know, my freakum dress, or, you know, my revenge dress to make him mad after he cheated on me, you know. So that, and then we have another hashtag Global Posh, which talks about international news, so like the hard news. So First Lady Melania Trump, she went over to Japan and she had an all-female police squad. So what's this fashion psychology behind the police squad's dress? You know, so we do a little hard news, little soft news, little pop culture stuff. So I'm just really excited. It's a new baby of mine. So I can't wait to see her grow up. But it's great. It's awesome.
Well, I know it will be successful, and we will definitely keep our eye out and expect to hear more about your YouTube series. Thank you so much for being here, Dawnn.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for joining in for this series of Professional Seduction. Next time, we will have entrepreneur Brian Osuch to talk about being your best and maximizing your potential. Before we go, we've got to give a big shout out to Born in Brooklyn Media for helping to make Professional Seduction happen. We'll see you next time.